Hello, everybody. Sara Estelle of Essentially Flowers Training. I'm joined today by Rachel of Lightbringer Essences and founder of the Birth Today Sentire magazine about flower essences. Welcome, Rachel.
Thank you, Sarah.
Yeah, so what is important to say as we do that, I live in a very rural France and Rachel lives in a very rural of England. We're both right now with internet connections which are kind of if you cannot hear well. Rachel?
Yeah, so we're thinking that if the connection gets too bad here, then we will try and do something else and record something and put it out later. But for now, we felt we wanted to just persevere and see if we can get the energy in our electrical wires and broadband systems to synchronize and do something good. So please put your energy into that, anyone who's watching.
Absolutely. Let's keep this connection clear if we possibly. If you are watching live, please to us. It's always nice to know. If you're away, then please also say hello. If you for Rachel about the Sentire magazine, welcome to ask them here. So there's Ethne. Oh, there's Moana as well. Sorry, I'm probably pronouncing your name. So Ethne says she can put yours and I'm okay. It's nice things working. And Wena's there as well. Yeah. So not to meet Moana, Rachel, because some mess, and I think she could probably write you a great article.
Yeah, it's lovely to see some of these names coming up, actually. Thank you, everyone, for being there. Hopefully I'll unfreeze soon. And yeah, I'm really glad to be meeting you here. And I know some of you have already connected with me through Facebook and through the Sentire Essence Magazine page as well. So I'm very much looking forward to deepening those contacts because you're going to be part of this magazine in the future. So do get in touch with me. Thank you.
So, well, congratulations. Because I know a project that is to your heart and you've worked really hard to bring it to free. So, and today is the birthday, literally say, of Sen. I really so thank you for that. It's a quick look through and it's so interesting to read and very easy. So tell me, let's begin, because some people don't know very much about flower. So I'm going to hand over to you. Can you tell us a little bit what are in your experience and how can they help us?
Okay, thanks, Sarah. Yeah, so flower essences for me are liquid drops of pure life force, of pure consciousness. So when we're taking in an essence, we're taking in the life spirit of that plant or gem or sacred place or whatever it might be that essence is made from. And if we stick with flower essences for a moment, when you think of a flower and you think of how we use them in our society, flowers are a thing of real grace and beauty and purity. And we give them at times when we need to say something deeper than words will go. So we give them when we love someone, we give them when we want to show gratitude or sympathy or whatever it might be. We sort of seem to know intuitively that flowers can communicate something that's very soulful. And flower essences themselves are just that. They are a soulful way of communicating with our own self, with really getting in touch with our authenticity, with the truth of who we are. It's like a bright light. When we take that in, it's like a bright light in going into our being and connecting us to that true self. So it helps us through emotional difficulties. It helps us through when our mind is going crazy with lots of things going on in our head, and we just need something to still that and to get us back to center. And they help with our spiritual connection, with our deeper sense, our bigger, broader, wider sense of who we are in the world and what we're here to do. So on lots of different levels, flower essences can touch us. Most people come to them initially to a sense of needing some kind of emotional support, but as they go through that door of entering the flower essence world, as it were, then they find that they do so much more than that. And usually people who enter the flower essence world don't leave. You know, they use essences for the rest of their life because they're just such an amazing tool. They're natural, they're non-addictive, they're safe for anyone of any age, and they're a very beautiful thing to work with because they're inspiring in an exquisite and intimate and full of light. You can tell that that I love essences, and I know you do, and I've been working with them for 20 years, and I've felt that touch of light nearly every day for 20 years, and it's actually transformative. I wouldn't be without that.
Absolutely, Rachel. Yeah, beautifully shared.
Rachel. Yeah, beautifully shared.
Everything you were saying, which is great.
Good.
Mine is pretty much the same as yours. I've been using them now for over 25 years. And I have no idea what it would be like today if I wasn't using them. Like you, I use them daily. And yeah, I have so much gratitude for them. One of the reasons that Rachel do this together today, because we for practitioners in flower and vibrational medicine. She has done that herself. So we have a lot of experience, ordinary amount of passion. Essences can help us. So I hope that anybody who is new to essences, if you're joining us, hello, and if you have any questions, then put them into the chat. So Rachel, one of the things that I thought would be you chat about, you and I both share that we have our own or light bringer essences, and I have my own range of essences, but we also encourage others to use different essences, and I know the same as and base ranges. So why in your experience important to use different ranges of
That's a really good question. As you said, and it was breaking up a little bit there, but I think I heard you properly, that you were saying that we've both done trainings where we've taught people, and as part of those trainings, then you teach a broad range of essences, and that's something I've always loved, because in doing that, people start to realize just the different types of energies and ways in which we can work with energy, so that you can really sort of fine-tune the tools that you're using. So I would say that I use different essence ranges because I want to be able to connect with the aspect of a person that is most in need of being touched. And for one person to come who adores flowers and just immediately goes to them, then that's great. But for another person, their passion might be animals. And so in that instance, I can work with wild earth animal essences or one of the other animal ranges. And likewise, someone might be deeply attracted to crystals and need to work with that very crystalline structure. And again, there's lots of different ranges out there, and they each have such different qualities. You know, you look at something like Anne Callahan's indigo essences and the crystal essences in there, and you look at something like the Alaskan gem essences, and their energies are entirely different. You know, so Alaskan essences are this kind of high, refined, very pure sort of energy, and are really deeply accessible and evocative, and they come in very immediately, and they're just completely different types of energies. So people can reach for what resonates for them, and essences is all about what resonates. You know, when we're working with essences, when we're selecting an essence for someone, we go for that which resonates with where they're at this time. And it's no different with the essence range. You know, if we can have access to that, and we have that kind of knowledge, and we have those different ranges, then we can really tailor it to that person and to their needs at that time. And there's just fantastic essence work being done out there now. There's so many essence ranges. In the UK alone, there's loads of essence ranges. But throughout the world, you know, we have an abundance of wild sacred medicine out there that we can choose to work with and link with. And you know, my dream is that one day there'll be an essence range in every county, and preferably in every village, and people will just go to their local essence producer for their essences, and it will be the most natural thing to do. Because this is a wild and sacred medicine. You know, it is something that really touches us at such a deep level, and we can immediately treat shock, we can immediately treat distress, we can immediately help a child who's frightened or being bullied, we can immediately help someone who's facing some awful illness or some distressing situation. You know, we've got this gentle system of healing that can come in and touch that person. And I think the more knowledge and the more access we have to different essence ranges, the better.
Mm-hmm. Yes, it's been a little bit of an explosion of ranges over the past few years, and it is truly inspirational, and to as possible to experience our uplity. So let's talk a little about Sentire magazine. So as we shared, for anybody in us live right now, magazine is an E-magzine special sharing in flower essences. With me to founder of Sentire E-magzine, and today is the birth of the magazine. So Rachel, share with us a little bit about your vision behind. And by the way, I'm sure you know this, but in French, which is the word for feeling here, so the old layer of feelings.
Yeah, so Sentire, I chose it as the Latin word for to sense, to feel, to know. And for me, essences are absolutely an intuitive tool. They are something that really deeply connects us to the feminine. And if you think about the way that an essence maker makes an essence, that subject calls them in answer to something that's going on, usually in their own life. So there's a real soul connection right from the start, and an incredible intuitive connection right from the start. Once that essence is made and then people start to use it, they invariably select an essence intuitively, often through dowsing or something like that. And then when we're taking it, it's speaking to the intuitive knowing within us. So that whole thing of sensing, knowing, feeling just feels like a huge part of essences. The vision behind Sentire is partly to do with the fact that I had been running the Advanced Essence Practitioner Diploma trainings, and one of the things that I loved about that, which I know you will really enjoy, Sarah, is that sense of connecting with the Global Essence community, and you get to know the producers, you get to know their ranges and their insights from the inside out, and it just gives you such a richness of information. And one of the things that I was aware of is that a lot of people will be aware of one or two essence ranges and maybe have access to that person's newsletter and that person's books, and that gives them some really rich information, but there's so much more out there. And as we connect the dots globally as an essence community and we share information, then I feel that we will advance our understanding and our use and our effectiveness of using essences as we go along. And one of the things as well, I'd already started to put Sentire into motion, but the death of Steve Johnson, the founder of Alaskan Essences, was quite a seminal moment for me. And at that point I thought, well, there is someone that we've lost in the essence world who had all this knowing and gentleness and so much to give. And we have lots that he's left behind. But my hope is to get those conversations going now so that we can really access the people who've been here doing this for years and years and years and have lots of advice to give. I also wanted it to be a space where people who are new to essences could come and start to find out things, ask a panel of experts. And I wanted it to be a resource for professional essence therapists, producers, practitioners who want some kind of continuing professional development, want something that's got deep and meaningful content, want to contribute to it, but also want to really learn from other people. So it feels to me like it's something that works on lots and lots of levels. And in some ways, that it's more than anything a sacred space where nature can speak through us and be teaching us, because all of us who are involved with essences are at some level plant whisperers, rock whisperers, seers, visionaries, shamans, and we have things to say, we have knowledge to impart, and we are providing a voice for nature. And I really wanted to create a space that was beautiful and sacred, where that voice could be heard from many different people.
And having had a quick look at my magazine that arrived this morning, it's very beautiful. You loved Steve Johnson dearly, and so it was beautiful to see Jeff's article in the magazine. Yeah, there's some very in-depth and very so how about the future? How do you see the very first day that people can see and read the Sentire magazine? How does the future look? How would you love it?
Well, the future's looking really interesting. Over the last 3-4 weeks, I've had a lot of contact with people throughout the Global Essence community, with some really interesting conversations going on with people who would like to contribute, and a huge array of topics. Everything from working with your personal space energy and really using essences to correct the line and set that space, to much broader working with the earth energies in the larger environment. I've got someone talking to me about conscious aging and how to use essences within skincare products and hair care products. And there's so many topics coming through: plant consciousness, how to do plant initiation, some really nice shamanic stuff, because one of the things that we really want to do is to have the magazine be broader than just essences. So, you know, there's so many things on the fringe of our subject, and shamanism is definitely one of them with plant spirit medicine. But also there's great things going on in things like the Heart Math Institute, where they're talking about the intuitive connection to the heart and how they've been mapping that scientifically, which is fantastic information for us to have as practitioners, because it gives us a scientific understanding of what's going on here. We've got information coming through on using colour in essences, and articles on chakras, on meridians, you know, so working with them in really specific ways. We've got what we call the Essence Essential pages, which are pages for beginners, where we're going through a topic each time. And we've also got our professional pages, which are for people who need information on things like data protection, on how to keep good boundaries as a practitioner, on how to grow your practice in an authentic. So there's all manner of things going on in there. And as I say, you know, we're really encouraging people to come on over and join the conversation and say what they need to have in there and ask the questions that we can then formulate articles and features around. But my hope is that we just keep going on and exploring essences and doing that in a way which really honours their beauty.
Mm-hmm. I hope that people are getting Rachel's wisdoms. As I shared at the beginning, if you're just joining or listening to us, we countryside and actions aren't the strongest in the world, but we are streaming live here to you today and to share with you in all their facets and birth of Rachel's new E-magzine. So Rachel, would you share with everybody, please, if they are in subscribing, how they can do that?
Okay, so it's really easy to subscribe. You just go to sentireemagazine.com and click onto the image of the first issue of the Essence magazine, which is right there on the first page, or go through to the magazine page itself, and you'll see a box there which you can click on. It's really clearly marked, and as soon as you go into that, you get into the pages of Sentire magazine itself on our magazine platform, which is UMag, and you can view those first few pages. I think you can read my editorial in there. And then if you want to, you can click on full issue and it will allow you to either buy that issue or to subscribe for a year. And the Essence magazine is quarterly, so you can get a subscription for the full 4 issues for the year.
Fabulous. The experience was very, very easy of accessing mine. So thank you very, very much. Let's do something together, maybe in a couple of months, so that we can get this to people. If you have any questions for Rachel, free to pop them in to the chat box. Rachel, she tag Rachel, use them, and she can come back and answer any questions. So thank you.
Thank you, Sarah. It's been lovely to do this with you this morning.
And I sent Sentire magazine people's inboxes today and in the future. So thank you very much. And thank you, everybody. Okay, bye-bye, everybody. Bye.
Bye-bye.